Howdy, and welcome to the Lost Rider podcast. It's an honor and privilege to address you in the capacity of an interviewer, reporter, and media member. Too many modern media outlets have forgone the integrity and responsibility required of credible information sources. What you will receive here are straightforward discussions with legislators, agency leaders, biologists, engineers, doctors, and countless other experts that have the answers to questions often circulated as kitchen table issues. The title Lost Rider may be thought of literally as well as in the metaphorical sense. While there has been the instance that I was momentarily a little turned around at night in a wilderness area, the idea of being a lost rider in life, well, that fits most folks at some time. These renderings are coming to you in the form of the 25-year-old radio program, The News from the Camp House. It still airs every Saturday morning at 6:30 a.m. Central Time on KULM 98.3 FM out of Columbus, Texas. The original intent was to relate outdoor topics to the general public. Immediately, it was found that all issues are relatable to the outdoors and that people are people. They all play a role and they all have a vested interest. It's this program's desire to answer common questions about how the world works, how it will operate in the future, and what's the holdup? So please listen, enjoy, and never hesitate to contact us with more questions and feedback. Good morning and welcome to this weekend's edition of News from the Camp House of the Listening Post of the Texas Sportsman Association. This is Herman Brune, and this weekend's edition is also brought to us by the Shaw's Bend Social Club, country club folks who don't have a country club. All right, now we have a special guest with us this weekend. We always got special guests. They're always kind of special in some kind of way. So, yeah, this guy, Michael Scherer, all right, and you've got friends in Shaw's Bend.
I do. I have a lot of friends. I got a lot of friends in all different kind of places, but you got to do that when you get all the secrets when you're fishing every day. So you got to understand who you're fishing with and who could be watching you behind that tree.
All right. Yes, I believe you. Okay. But, okay, Michael, now, what's your deal? Tell people about the kids and the job in Katy, Texas, and explain that.
We will. My name is Michael Scherer. I'm the program director of a group called Fishing's Future. We educate families to get them back outdoors using fishing as the hook. We operate out of 18 states, and in 2025, we had 18 states report in of over 35,000 participants. One of our larger chapters with Fishing's Future is called the Katy Anglers. We operate out of the Kenneth D. Welch Outdoor Learning Center with Katy ISD, where we take close to 14,000 kids fishing from elementary school, junior high school, as well as high schools, the junior high school and the high schools. We have two very well-stocked lakes that we educate them. We have done videos for them so they can use them in the schools to get prepared, all the way down to bug picking. Who doesn't like to bug pick? You know, if you know the bugs in the water, you know the bait to put on the hook, that what they're going to eat. So you make sure that you're very successful when they do this. But we have a boat called the I Can down in South Padre Island where we take mobility issue families on the water. Our boat in the stall will lift to their need. So it depends on if we have a medical bed coming in, that lift will lift it to their needs to get that bed on our boat and then get it secured and then get them out there in the big bahia. So we also have a I Catch tank, which is a 5,000-gallon, 20-foot by 20-foot octagon, where we can put fish where fish aren't supposed to be. So we can get this tank built up. We get some water in it, get some fish in it, and bring the people. We can hook it, or what we call bait to plate. We can show you how to catch that fish. We can show you how to cook that fish. We can tell you where to find that fish. So it's another thing that we do.
All right. Okay. The kids, it's a school deal. How do you approach them? How do you get into the schools and then get the kids out there?
This program that Katy ISD has been doing since 1999. It's a buy-in. They have what they call the Outdoor Adventure Ed. And they actually started fishing in schools with Take Me Fishing Houston, which then it did Take Me Fishing Hutzel, which is Hutzel Elementary School. And these educate kids, third grade, fourth grade, and fifth grade, everything they need to be a positive influence and get them out there fishing. But it's not just a kid thing, because when they come out to the Outdoor Learning Center, they get to bring their parents. And now we have sent things home. We can show them where those parents. Fishing's Future is all about putting the family back together. Our logo looks like a fish, but it's actually two lowercase f's turned to embrace that look like a fish, called Families Forever. And it's good to get kids out there fishing, but you got to remember, when you teach a kid how to fish, make sure you follow it up with a fishing trip. And then don't do a one and done. Get them back out in the water within a month, 2 months. Make sure you're contacting these people to take them fishing again. Don't discourage a child by showing them how to fish. And if they don't have a family to take them, you really haven't done anything. You have to make sure that if you're showing your passion, you need to continue to show your passion to those kids. Call them up again, call up where they are, find out, and then get the permission with another adult and get that person, get that family back on the water.
All right. Well, there's more people doing it. You have to have a small army of people just taking. How many kids do you take at one time? How many families do you take at one time? How many instructors do you have out there? Well, if you got a whole third, fourth, and fifth graders, you got to have wranglers.
No, you don't need all that. You know, I can personally take probably 100 people myself. And a lot of people ask me, go, Michael, how do you do that by yourself? I said, by myself. I've educated them. They know how to fish. I'm just there to hand them the poles and hand them the bait to be successful. You know, I can be there. I can bring an army of people.
Yeah.
But if you go fishing, do you want an army of people around you?
No.
No, you're there for different reasons. So again, our programs are designed to read the participants. So if we're doing what we call family fish camps, we might only invite 12 families. If we get all 12 families, we'll then start bringing our volunteers. And all of our volunteers are certified with the state. And that means they come with a criminal background check. And we have a lot of policies. We have no touch policies. We have stick to the scripts. We don't like to do a lot of storytelling while we're with these people. We want to educate them what they need to be successful. And if you want to hear it, I can give you my 4 tips on being a successful fisherman as a kid, family, whatever. You ready?
Go ahead.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Number 1, and this is going to blow you away, Herman. To learn to fish is to learn the fish. So if you know everything about this fish, you know where to find it, you know the habitat, with the rules and regulation, what does it eat, you're going to be successful. Because that also teaches you the gear that you need to go to academy and buy and all these other things. Number 2, only cast where the fish are. Don't cast where the fish are not. And again, if you don't understand that, repeat number 1. To learn to fish is to learn the fish. Habitat is a key. Most of the fish that you are going to catch as a beginner is probably 2, 4 to 6 feet right in front of you. These fish are looking up at you, and you're looking out here, but if you look down into the water, those fish are there ready to bite whatever you throw. Number 3, know before you go. And that go back to number 1 if you don't understand that, but know before you go. Understand rules and regulations. Understand where and what fish. Work with your family. Work with your educator. Go back to journaling. You're big in journaling, and we're big in journaling. We want people to understand by journaling that adventure they're getting ready to take so they can do the research on where these fish are, and then maybe come back in the dinner table, as a family and write down your adventures together. Draw pictures of those fish that you did. And the last one, if you don't know, let it go. So again, that can mean I got a fish, am I going to keep this fish? But the only thing that you don't want to let go from that fishing trip is that memory with that family that you just did it. If it's with a family, if it's with a grandpa, if it's with you, Herman, taking you out with your beautiful dog over here, that's the memory. They're going to be talking about this.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So is this primarily what you see? Is it mostly new families, people that have never done this, or?
Well, it's all about R3. The R3 campaign that started with hunting, the recruit, retainment, reactivation. So you want to recruit new families. You want to bring them in there. So we talk about purchasing licenses. You want to retain what you did. You never want to do a one and done. One and dones are not in my vocabulary. I like one and, oh my God, let's do it as much as we can. And then the reactivation is, let's say, Herman, you bought a fishing license 15 years ago and you never bought another one because you just wanted to give up fishing. Well, you're the ones that we want to get rehooked, get you re-excited. And the way we're doing that is with a new program that we just got a grant with the Fish America Foundation, R3, which is powered by the ASA, the American Sports Fishing Association, all around the new Fishing's Future Ambassador Program for 15 to 17-year-olds. There's a big gap between 18 and 39s on volunteering. So, they've got life changes. They've got things to do. They've got colleges. Are we going to have babies? Are we going to do this? Are we going to do that? Oh, do I have to buy another fishing pole? So they've got all these decisions, and they're really not worried about volunteering. But the 15 to 17-year-olds, they're excited. They're in church groups. They're in scouting units. They're all this stuff. So if we can get them educated as an adult with a certified angler, they're the ones that are going to come in front of you and get you back excited. Not saying that you don't have a fishing license, Herman, just giving you an example.
Yeah.
But they're going to get you so excited that you're going to want to go fishing. Maybe there was a reason why you don't go fishing anymore. And that's what that program is all about. And that's what Fishing's Future is all about. We have some things coming up in the futures for the family in June that I can't talk about yet because it's still under non-disclosure. But in June, if this is going to take place, you're going to be amazed.
All right. Okay. Tell you what, let's take a quick break. Thank the folks who let us come on here every Saturday morning. We'll be right back with some more Michael Scherer. Thank goodness for all the great sponsors we have here at News from the Camp House. H-E-B Food Stores. That's Stephen Tice at H-E-B. He helps me. He helps the community. He's a great man. I'm so thankful H-E-B loosened him up, lets him go around and sponsor a few things. H-E-B's got all your food needs. It's the greatest food store we got here in Columbus. Thank goodness for H-E-B. First State Bank. You go over to the First State Bank, they'll take care of all your loans, all your deposits, your savings, anything you need. Bunch of great hometown people over there. You got Celia Tobias, John Pollock. Everybody over there is looking out for you. Miss Barbara Barta. It's a great bunch of folks at the First State Bank is also sponsoring News from the Camp House. First State Bank takes care of all my business. Baumgart Agency, Susan Baumgart at the Baumgart Agencies, her and Germania. She told me to plug Germania. Germania is a insurance that she likes everybody to know about. The Baumgart Agencies. Miss Susan and I are classmates. Being classmates, she got me out of high school, sat right beside her, put us in alphabetical order where I could copy. And Susan Baumgart over at the Baumgart Agency, taking care of all your insurance needs. Lyco Realty, one of the original sponsors of News from the Camp House. Lyco Realty, the oldest real estate company in the county, and for the last 3 years voted the favorite realtor in the county. Lyco Realty, that's Miss Kimberly Johnson. That's Crockett's granddaughter. More kinfolks and classmates and great people from Colorado County. People from Colorado County helping people from Colorado County. That's great. Oh, thank goodness for all these wonderful people come to me want to be sponsors for News from the Camp House. Good morning and welcome back to the second half of this week's News from the Camp House. Sitting here with Michael Scherer with Fishing's Future. Now, I said earlier, Michael has friends in Shaw's Bend, and he asked me if I knew Harvey Painish and the Painish family, and I said, well, of course I do. And that's what it's all friends. He knows everybody. So, all right, Michael, tell me, this Fishing's Future, this program that you're working with, you get all these thousands of school kids out there fishing, all their families, everybody. What's coming up? What's the future look like for these programs?
Oh my gosh, the future, you know, the old saying, the future is so bright, I got to get better sunglasses. And that's why we go with Flying Fisherman sunglasses, because they're the best sunglasses I've ever put on my face. So the future for Fishing's Future, we have a new executive director, Tom Lang. He's been on our board for over 10 years. We have a lot of great things coming up, a lot of great things that we can't talk about yet because there's still some things that we have to put together. There's some, you know, how we're going to call this, what we're going to do this, make sure it's not something that's out there already. We want to be the first of the first. You know, Fishing's Future is the front leader of angler education, and we want to continue to be the front leader. We have a new thing. We want to do $1 million participants a year. You know, how does that look? How does somebody do 1 million participants a year? Well, we had talked about this early. You need a lot of people. You know, you need to grow. So there's a lot of ideas, and I'm hoping by that June timeframe, I'll be able to talk about that. But for me, I took a phone call the other day from Kelly Jordan, the chairman of the Texas Freshwater Hall of Fame chairman. And he says, oh, well, hey, Kelly, what's up? He goes, well, Michael, I'm getting ready to change your life. I'm going to change your evening. And you've just been unanimously, is that, I guess that's right. That's a tough word for a Texan to talk about.
That means everybody.
That means everybody. I'm going to be put into the Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame in Athens, Texas, in October 9th. Get to be on the wall with all my heroes. You know, a lot of these people on that wall, you know, like Gary Klein and Wally Marshall and our founder of Fishing's Future, Shane Wilson's on that wall. Okay. And you know, they just put, I think their name was Ann Wilson and Rick Klum, were just inducted last year. Mm-hmm. But I didn't have much words. You know, I'm a man of, you know, I talk a lot sometimes. You know, Herman, you know that. I talk a lot. But there was probably more tears coming out of my eyes than words coming out of my mouth. Because, again, people like you and me, it's not about me. It's not about, you know, we don't look for that. But I was starting to think, oh, my gosh, somebody recognized what I was doing along with Fishing's Future and what we were doing. And I got voted in, and I'm more. I tell you, Herman, I had to go look up the word honor. How do you talk about yourself? And I joked with my wife. I says, how many times do you talk about yourself? Okay, have you ever thought about that? How many times you think about yourself? So my wife and I got together and says, okay, you talk about yourself during an interview when you're going for a job. You might talk about yourself when you got an award or sometime, which was this, and the other one's when you're dead. Somebody else is talking about you. So I'm deeply honored, but I wish they would call the Hall of Fame the Hall of Family, because my family, all my students, everybody I caught a fish with, you know, 40, 50,000 people, they're going to go on that wall with a lot of great people, my mentors, people that I grew up watching, how I built who I am today in the angler education world, to make those four stand. And I think we talked about that earlier about the learn to fish. You know, that's my presentation when I talk to anybody, is those four things. But I am truly honored to be put into the Freshwater Hall of Fame in October 9th in Athens, Texas at the Freshwater Fishery Center. And they asked me the question, it goes, well, if you were to put in words, how does it feel? Numbing. I need to do more now. Oh my gosh. I'm being put up there with people that are still doing great work, great stewards of this environment and what we do in this fishing industry. Passion is blinding for me. I don't like the word no. Mm-hmm. So, I'm never blinded, but passion blinding can be, what am I getting back? It's not, but again, it's not about that. It's not about what I'm going to get back from somebody else's. I want to get those people fishing. But we talked about in the other podcast earlier about kissing fish. If there's any reward, there's two things. You're getting that kiss from that fish, you got to get that kiss in. But the biggest reward comes on a Sunday afternoon is when I get my paycheck. It's when families that I have educated send me pictures. It's not I caught a fish. It's we caught a fish together. Mm-hmm. Because again, fishing is a cure of everything.
Yeah.
It's how you do it. But that's a lot of stuff coming up. And maybe next year when we're doing this again, I'll be talking with you, and then I can say, hey, we did it. June was amazing. We did this and that and this and that. But again, I think I talked about it earlier. We just got the Fish American Foundation, ASA, or powered by the ASA, American Sports Fishing Association, the one that we call around the ambassador program. So we're very excited about that future as well.
All right. Now, you said earlier, you primarily go to the same places. You said you had a couple of lakes that were stocked up well, so that where you take the kids?
Well,
families.
The families and the kids we take, if we're in Katy ISD, if we're doing those for Katy ISD, we go to the Kenneth D. Wilch Outdoor Learning Center. Mm-hmm. Fishing's Future helps to put fish in there. We have fundraisers to do that, to get fish back in there. Those are big fish. We have something, Larry the Legend. I think Larry the Legend was around 39 inches. I mean, when a third or a fifth grader pulls Larry the Legend, we're not doing side bets by any means, but we're watching to see if Larry's going to pull that little one in, because Larry is a big fish. Yeah. We were fishing there when Larry was in the tank, and everybody was looking at Larry. They were measuring Larry the Legend. And then we looked over to our left, and another pole was bit just as bad. And we had to come up with a new name for that one. So, Larry the Legend's sister, La Vida. It's all about the fun. It's all about putting your passion out there, because if it's boring, who's going to remember a boring trip? We were talking during the commercial break, all the fun things during hunting trips. And, I'm not a guide, but, if I'm teaching somebody how to fish, they're holding the rod and reel, and I can tell them everything. Oh yeah, I hit that twig over there, but you put that rod in my hand, I can't hit that twig. So, But we also take them into our CFLs, community fishing lakes. Texas Parks and Wildlife has two big programs, one during the summer where they stock channel catfish in various community fishing lakes are under what they call the neighborhood fishing program. They also start around Thanksgiving with rainbow trout. Right. So they put rainbow trout in various water. Texas Parks and Wildlife is all about put and take industry. We take. Mm-hmm. But we try to introduce our families to many of these. So if we're not a one and done type, right, when we do family fish camps, we might invite them to another reservoir. But again, we're bank fishermen or dock fishermen. We're not putting these people on boats, because most people that are beginning fishermen are not going to go out and buy a boat. They may buy a kayak. So we can show them in state parks where they can rent kayaks. There's other organizations that rent kayaks. But then again, we want to be sure that we're also teaching boater safety. Right. We had a young lady back in 2015. She had quite a few kids. Single mother, She was one of our first things with Recreation Boating Fishing Foundation called Vamos a Pescar. My Spanish is not that good, but that's Let's Go Fishing. Yeah. During that event, after it was over for the 1 year in 2015, she writes me back and says, Michael, you and your group got me to where I am with my family now. We bought a boat. We bought a boat. Okay. And so she understood life jackets. She understood what she needed to do. Getting that boater's education. Texas Parks and Wildlife does a great boater's education class. They also do the hunter's education class. But again, those are the rewards of all this, getting these people out there fishing at various locations, letting them understand the water. Again, number one, to learn to fish is to learn the fish.
Right. All right. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Herm, thank you. It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to be around you and your little dog there. It's like, and your little dog too. Yeah, he's looking at me over there, and it's like, I'm going to bite your nose off. But anyway, Herman, thanks a lot. I appreciate your time. I appreciate everything that you've done in your past. I'm truly a fan of you.
Oh, well, that's sweet.
But thank you for the day. Thank you for this time.
All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed it this morning. Michael Scherer with Future Fishing, taking all these kids out. It's great, taking families out. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something out of it, learned a little bit. You can always get a hold of us for more questions. Now, go enjoy the weekend. Remember, this edition was also brought to us by Charlotte Bend Social Club, Country Club folks, Social Club, Country Club folks who don't have a country club. All right, now, go have fun, be safe, have a great weekend, and y'all just remember pretty much any day is sure a good day to be out in the woods.